You stand accused of murder. You stand accused of treason.
What?
How do you answer these charges? Lord Baelish.
Fucking goosebumps again. Jeez Louise. What? Hey everybody, and welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay. This is number 57 of our takes, and we are here watching Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. I'm super excited to get into this one, but before we do, okay, if you like movies, you have got to check this out. This is a really cool piece of movie art that gives you the essence of your favorite movie in your home. It's called Movie Palette. Movie Palette is a special form of art, and here's how it works.
By analyzing and identifying the dominant colors corresponding with each individual scene of your favorite movie, artists specialized in the digital world are able to craft a beautiful piece of artwork that encapsulates your cherished film as a whole. The colors are laid out in chronological order from left to right, with varying sizes corresponding to the time on screen.
Yes, that's right. They take your favorite movies and transform them into amazing art. Movies speak to us. We connect with the characters, we follow along with the plot, and we soak in the script as if we were living it.
Now imagine getting to take all those feelings of entertainment like no other and putting them on a canvas to engage with, to speak to you, and to admire in your home.
I got a movie palette of one of my top favorite movies of all time, Avatar. Whenever I see it, I remember scenes from the movie as if they were playing in front of my eyes, and that's what it can do for you. It can say, remember that action scene? Remember that love scene? Remember the laughter, the array of emotions you had during this movie?
Or maybe you just want one that works best for your home. With Movie Palette's wide collection to choose from and the ability to create custom palettes, the opportunities are endless. Personally, I'm still browsing for one that works best for me, and I can't wait to get my hands on one.
And don't forget to use the coupon code Cam&Zay15 at checkout. That's CAMANDZAY15 to get 15% off.
And guys, by supporting Movie Palette, you're supporting us as well. So don't miss out on this incredible piece of artwork and get yourself a Movie Palette today.
If you guys like what you're watching, make sure you leave a like down below. Thank you so much for being here nonetheless. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. And yes, guys, yes, that means if you head over to our Patreon, you can finish the entire show with us right now. If you want to finish off the show with us, you can do it right now on Patreon in the form of full-length reactions. So if you're really excited and you want to finish the journey off with us now, you can check it out on Patreon. Go check it out. But in the meantime, we are here on YouTube reacting to the finale of Season 7. Isaiah, what do you remember previously?
We lost a valiant soldier to the other side last episode.
Yes, we did.
Sarion not only got killed by the bastard Night King, but he turned him,
Fucking
man.
asshole.
And it was awful. It was so sad to see. Sad enough to see him go. Sadder and upsetting to see him switch. We saw the blue eyes. You know, Dany came to the rescue after Jon and the gang were in a huge pickle. They were surrounded by on all sides by the whites. It looked like they were pretty much screwed. It looked like the mission was botched. They were dead. Dany comes through, all 3 dragons. And, you know, so they escaped with 2 of them. Jon and Dany had a pretty kind of like intimate moment on the boat where, you know, Dany basically said, we're going to beat the Night King. We're going to destroy his army without Jon, like really like without him having to like really convince her. She kind of saw that and was like, I've seen what I had to see. I've seen what I've had to see. And Jon in response called her my queen. Said, you know, I would bend the knee, but I can't really get up. So It was cool to see that, you know, they both kind of granted each other's wishes without really having to meet the terms of the other. I mean, Jon could have just not called her my queen and not bent his knee, and he already had her with him. So a very intimate moment. Arya, and the opposite of this, Arya and Sansa. I thought Arya was actually going to shank Sansa in Arya's room. She found Sansa kind of rummaging through her stuff, I assume looking for that letter, the scroll, and she found the faces that Arya keeps in her bag. One was Walder Frey, and Sansa started questioning her, what are these faces, whatever, and Arya was being kind of cryptic, but basically explained what it was, that she got in Bravos, and, you know, it lets her be who I want to be, and she goes, I could be you, I just need your face, and grabbed the knife. I was like, oh my God, terrifying Sansa. Sansa's in a very paranoid position. Is her sister trying to kill her? Who's loyal to her? Baelish is whispering in her ear, kind of whispering sweet nothings, which aren't helping.
Right.
So it's it's getting very, very hectic for Sansa. I'm sure she's flustered. Tyrion tried to talk to Dany about, you know, let's not be so impulsive. You know, let's maybe not do any in regards to saving Jon and everything when they received the Raven. You don't have to do anything. Sometimes the hardest thing is to not do anything. And Dany was retorting that we've been doing that, which is your way, and we've been suffering losses. And so she's really not taking Tyrion too seriously. He also brought up the fact that we need to figure out who's going to seat the Iron Throne after you, because you can't have kids. And Dany was like, we'll figure that out when I have the crown. So tension's rising with her and her, I guess, hand to the queen in that sense. He's basically her hand. We lost Thoros, sadly. We lost Viserion. Did we lose one other?
Oh, yeah.
Who did?
You're gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel so bad.
I'm gonna feel so awful. Who?
Benjen.
Oh my God! Benjen saved Jon.
Yeah.
Jon let them fly away. Jon ended up getting dragged into the water. He crawls out. Army's about to be on him. Benjen comes through swinging his flaming mace, and we got one of the coolest parallels. It's a callback from the first season when we saw Benjen's horse come back to the wall without Benjen on it, but instead we see Benjen's horse with Jon on it. Benjen died fighting and distracting the undead so he can make it back. That literally was pretty much the whole episode, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, just a lot of north of the wall stuff, but some other
Yeah.
stuff that you mentioned. Nice little recap there. With that being said, let's get into the finale.
Hey, yes.
He's okay.
Bro, hot oil. What a crazy fucking idea. Whoever thought of that's a psycho. Let's
Probably
dump
one of the
oil.
Boltons.
Fucking, yeah. I got bets on who.
Men without cocks.
Maybe it really is all cocks in the end.
Yet your brother has chosen to side with the cockless.
Yes. He's always been a champion of the downtrodden.
You want to stop disrespecting the Unsullied like that. They can fight, bro. Leave them be.
Dude, the Dothraki sound.
Dude, the Unsullied are just like, oh no, we just waiting, dog. No, we got we got other people coming for y'all. We just gonna wait.
Dude, having these Unsullied like so still in orderly, and then also infusing the Dothraki
Which
wildness.
is chaos.
It's like,
Yeah.
what are we fucking fighting here? Like,
I mean, Jamie said it best. He's like, it's like, it's to them killing us was sport. Like they were having
Yeah.
fun. It's like, yeah, that's a difference.
I'm glad you're alive. Come on, you can suck his magic cock later. Who's protecting her if you're here?
The only one that needs protecting is the one that gets in her way.
facts.
True.
Hound hasn't seen that side of Arya.
Remember my offer. Whatever they're paying you, I'll pay double.
That would be double what now, exact?
That's 2 castles, 2 girls.
Helping me to arrange this meeting wasn't exactly looking after yourself, was it?
It's your head Queen Cersei's offered a bag of gold for us, not mine. Now, thanks to me, she's got 2 traitors' heads coming right through her door. If that's not looking after myself, I don't know what is.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Aw,
They were my favorite, and I think that was my favorite
They-
interaction.
they
Tyrion
were a
and
great
Bronn.
duo. Look at that.
This is crazy.
Dragon Pit.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what they called it, Dragon Pit.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've been in the Dragon Pit, right? If I'm not mistaken. First, I remember hearing about it.
I don't
so-
think it's the first time we've seen it, but I think it's the first time we're in it.
Okay.
I could be wrong, though.
You're even fucking uglier than I am now. That's not how it ends for you, brother. You know who's coming for you. You've always known.
Sheesh.
Whoo!
She'll be here soon.
Didn't travel with you.
No.
Land with a dragon. Set a fucking message.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe.
Look at Jamie shit himself. He's like, oh no, not again. Let's not forget who we talking about. We talking about the Dragon Queen.
What an entrance.
Every single Lannister knight right now.
Just look at Drogon's fucking face, bro.
Look at the way he's crawling down. He's like, dude, just destroying the ground, the building beneath him as he crawls down.
We've been here for some time.
My apologies. Shut up. Like 5 minutes. Shut up.
Same thing is coming for all of us.
Oh.
General, you can't negotiate with an army that doesn't leave corpses behind on the battlefield.
Bars.
Are you asking me for a truce?
Yes. That's all.
Pull back my armies and stand down while you go on your monster hunt. Or while you solidify and expand your position. Hard for me to know which it is, with my armies pulled back.
I mean, she has a point.
Until you return and march on my capital with
That's
4
fine.
times the men.
Let the white just free. Just free. That's it. Just let it run right towards her. Then we'll find out what side she's on.
We have something to show you.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let it free. Literally let it run at her. I want you to let that shit go head first. Just. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, look at her. Look at her. Yeah, you're scared. Scared. You're scared. Don't worry. We got you, dog. We got you. Get the fucking point.
Oh, Cersei, you think you could just kill it?
This isn't a box round, bro. He just fucking literally. Oh my god. I can't stand Cersei.
She looks so fucking scared.
She looks. They all look confused. Like, how is this possible?
We can destroy them by burning them. And we can destroy them with dragon glass.
Speak your facts, John.
That was the best school presentation I've ever seen. 10 out of 10. 100. You got an A.
There is only one war that matters. The Great War. And it is here.
Woo!
That gave me chills. That was a crazy demonstration.
How many?
100,000 at least.
Oh, dude,
Jamie's like,
fucking...
whoa. Jamie's like, fucking dragon. Euron's like, I'm going back to the Iron Islands. Can they swim?
Can they swim?
He literally.
No. Good. I'm taking the Iron Fleet back to the Iron Islands.
Hey, you're a fucking G.
I'm a fucking genie.
I've seen everything, things you couldn't imagine, and this is the only thing I've ever seen that terrifies me.
Can't
It'd be
blame
good.
him.
It'd be good to know that the Night King can probably freeze that water if he gets far enough.
Well, he didn't freeze any water before.
All he's got,
So,
man, he brings
we don't
winter
know if
with
he
him. He's just gonna be like this. He'll just sit there and wait. They'll sit there and wait all day. Like the Iron Island guys are like, is that water freezing?
If those things come for us, there'll be no kingdoms to rule. The crown accepts your truce.
Okay, at least she's not clinically insane.
Insane.
Until the
This is
dead are
cool.
defeated.
Yeah.
They are the true enemy.
Oh, still tense though. It's like we're fine for now, but I still want my ones.
In return, the king in the north will extend this truce. He will remain in the north where he belongs. He will not take up arms against the Lannisters. He will not choose sides. I know Ned Stark's son will be true to his word.
Yeah.
If you're ever gonna lie, this is the time to lie. Just say yes.
I cannot serve two queens. And I've already pledged myself to Queen Daenerys of House Targaryen.
Bro, this is insane. This finale is insane.
It's just the beginning. Who knows how it's gonna play out?
There's like insanity, like for a diplomatic, like taking like all the diplomacy in the beginning.
The dead will come north first. Enjoy dealing with them. We will deal with whatever is left of you.
And Jamie looks so upset about that. Like, he just looks like he's like, you're not getting it. You're not getting it.
So I'm loyal to the Queen, and you're loyal to sons and adult brothers.
Oh, fuck loyalty.
Facts.
Fuck loyalty.
This
Seriously.
goes beyond houses and honor and oaths.
Yeah.
Facts. And her stupid
Tell her
crown.
what?
To fucking get a clue. What do you mean? Tell her what?
I'm grateful for your loyalty. But my dragon died so that we could be here. If it's all for nothing, then he died for nothing.
Damn.
I'm pleased you bent the knee to our queen. I would have advised it, had you asked. But have you ever considered learning how to lie every now and then? Just a bit.
Seriously.
Just a bit.
Why?
When enough people make false promises, words stop meaning anything.
Okay.
Then there are no more answers, only better and better lies. And lies won't help us in this fight.
That is indeed a problem. The more immediate problem is that we're fucked.
I shouldn't be surprised. I suppose she's your kind of woman. A foreign whore who doesn't know her place.
Oh no!
That's crazy. Ooh.
That was a shot at Shay.
Yeah.
You may not have killed Joffrey, but you killed Marcella, you killed Tommen.
Never been more sorry about anything.
I will not hear it, not from you. I will not hear it!
Oh, go fuck your brother and get over it. Shut up. She makes me so mad.
I will always be a threat. So put an end to me. Do it! Say the word.
Oh my god. Wait. Hold on.
You just hear,
please.
Poof! Those were his fucking balls hitting the
Yeah.
floor. How big
Yeah.
they just got.
You know, right there, he's like, oh my god, thank God she didn't say it.
I am more sorry about the children than you could ever know.
I will not.
I don't care. I love them. You know I did.
Except for Joffrey, I believe that.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. Except for Joffrey, it's the only one I don't buy.
That thing you dragged here. I know what it is, I know what it means. And when it came at me, I didn't think about the world, not at all. All I could think about was keeping those gnashing teeth away from the ones who matter most, away from my family.
I will
Maybe Euron Greyjoy had the right idea.
100% buy that.
Yeah.
Get on a boat. Take those who matter.
You're pregnant.
Would make sense by her actions.
Yeah, she didn't drink the wine. Although the last time Tyrion served a Lannister wine.
True. That was a subtle detail I did kind of miss because I forgot about the
But that she
pregnancy.
didn't
drink the wine. So thank you for actually kind of, you know.
This place was the beginning of the end for my family. Sadrizes Buzdarius Costaur.
I'm
The
sorry,
dragon
what?
is not a slave.
Ah,
The
makes more
dragon
sense.
is not a slave. That's what she said all that time back when when the guy was holding the dragon, Drogon, before the first time we heard her really give a good Dracarys.
Yeah.
She said that line in that language. A dragon is not a slave.
And your family hasn't seen its end. You're still here.
I can't have children.
Who told you that?
The witch who murdered my husband.
Has it occurred to you she might not have been a reliable
Facts. Like who told you that? Well, it was a witch.
Who killed my husband?
Yeah. What?
I will not pull them back to the capital. I will march them north to fight alongside you in the Great War.
Whew.
Call our banners. All of them.
Respect, Cersei. Respect.
Respect. Respect
Took a
for
second.
Shersky.
But
Respect to Tyrion. Getting
Yeah.
like that's a bold ass move by him.
I can't believe he'd surrender the Northern Crown without consulting you.
This is his writing.
He was named King in the North. He can be unnamed.
How?
Even if I wanted to, Arya would never go along, and she'd kill anyone who betrayed her family.
Would Arya really murder her own sister?
Do you know what she is now?
Yeah, can you? Yeah. I would not. Here's the thing. I said she wouldn't, but don't tempt her. That didn't mean that's a green light. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes, when I try to understand a person's motives, I play a little game. I assume the worst.
Okay, it's not really a game. That's just it's just smart reasoning, I guess.
It's also very pessimistic.
After she murders you, what does she become?
Lady of Winterfell.
But Jon is still king. He's not dead or gone. Like you're like he's gonna come back, hopefully.
Yeah, but Baelish is really fucking with Sansa's head right now.
Yeah.
At least pushing her in the same direction she was like kind of thinking about.
Our father was more of a father to you than yours ever was. He was. And you betrayed him. Betrayed his memory. I did. He's a part of you. Just like he's a part of me. The things I've done. It's not my place to forgive you for all of it. But what I can forgive, I do.
Oh, goosebumps.
Just getting like, dude, emotion rush.
You're a Greyjoy. And you're a Stark.
Oh, more goosebumps. Damn, because that's always been a struggle for him.
Yeah.
He's the only one who tried to save me. She needs me now. So why are you still talking to me?
Dude, I can't stop with the goosebumps. What the fuck, Jon? And Theon?
Such well-written dialogue, bro. They can make you dislike a character and then almost like sympathize with him and then just like understand everything. Oh,
Theon's such an intricate character.
He's so complex, bro. So complex. All of his actions are like, they're layers and layers.
And the things that's happened to him, it's like, do you like him or not like him? Like, ultimately, that you sympathize for him.
He left the Iron Islands for Yara.
Oh boy.
Come on, Theon. I need you to win this. We need you to win this. Try to knee him in the balls. He ain't got nothing there, bro.
Big mistake.
Oh. Fucked him up with that headbutt. Oh my god.
Sheesh. There you go, Theon.
Sheesh. Beat the shit out of that guy. Good lord.
You could say what is dead may never die. Could be referring to his genital area.
Facts. Wow.
For Yara!
Woo!
All right.
Go save your sis.
I see we have 75 men. I can't tell if my vision's triple. but we had 30 boats.
Should be enough.
Sure, we got him. Someone got somewhere I can lay down. You take a breather.
We got 75 men and a cartoon squirrel. I think we've got this.
Yup. They're like, I think you have a concussion. A what?
Nope, just 5 birds circling my head.
Never seen a coconut in my life. Yeah, just 5 birds circling my head.
You stand accused of murder. You stand accused of treason.
What?
How do you answer these charges? Lord Baelish.
Fucking goosebumps again. Jeez Louise.
What?
My sister asked you a question.
Let me just. Can I just?
Which charges confuse you? Let's start with the simplest one.
Bran
You
just
murdered our aunt,
dead.
Lysa Arryn. You pushed her through the moon door and watched her fall. Do you deny it?
Sounds like I was there for that.
Ah,
I did it to protect you.
You did it to take power in the Vale.
you just
Earlier,
did it.
you conspired
Doesn't
to
matter.
murder
You
John
did it.
Arryn. You gave Lysa tears of lease to poison him. Do you deny it? The conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters, it was you who started it. Do you deny it?
It was.
You conspired with Cersei Lannister and Joffrey Baratheon to betray our father, Ned Stark. He was imprisoned and later executed on false charges of treason. Do you deny it?
I deny it. None of you were there to
Sounds
see what
big
happened.
mad.
None of you knows the truth.
You held a knife to his throat.
Bran, just literally Professor X just sitting there.
You said I did warn you not to trust me.
Yep, he said that.
You told our mother this knife belonged to Tyrion Lannister.
Oh fuck, dude, my body has to stop. Literally.
It was yours.
Goosebumps.
Sometimes when I'm trying to understand a person's motives, I play a little game.
Oh!
I assume the worst. What's the worst reason you have for turning me against my sister?
What is it, sir?
Turn family against family, turn sister against sister. That's what you did to our mother and Aunt Lysa, and that's what you
This is
tried to do to
insane.
us.
I did not expect this. What the fuck?
Thank you for all your many lessons, Lord Baelish. I will never forget them.
You're gonna. Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
Wow. The man who betrayed Ned's kids got their justice, and it was with the dagger that was used to assassinate Bran. Oh, dude, so much.
That was one of the most satisfying fucking. That was the what that caught me so off guard. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it caught a lot of us off guard.
I was like, Sansa and Arya, they're decking it out in a court.
Preparing the expedition north.
Expedition North. I always knew you were the stupidest Lannister. The Starks and Targaryens have united against us, and you want to fight alongside them. Are you a traitor or an idiot?
You're a moron.
While they battle in the North, we take back the lands that belong to us,
And then what?
and then we rule.
When the fighting in the north is over, someone wins. You understand that, don't you? If
Right.
the dead win, they march south and kill us all. If the living win, and we've betrayed them, they march south and kill us all.
Kill us all. Let's let everyone nuke each other. We'll just wait.
What happened to the third?
For all we know, it's guarding a fleet.
God damn it, Danny.
No, something happened. The dragons are vulnerable.
We can't beat the Dothraki. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the support of the other houses.
No, we have something better. We have the Iron Bank. You should have listened more when Father spoke about the importance of gold.
They do have the Iron Bank.
Do you really think Euron Greyjoy turned tail and sailed back to the Iron Islands? He's sailing with his fleet to Essos. He's going to ferry the Golden Company back here to help us win the war for Westeros.
You better hope there's no dragons in this plot.
I told you no one walks away from me.
Not even your brother lover?
Give the order then.
This would speak volumes. She does.
Dude, Jamie's just crushed.
I don't believe you.
Sheesh! Maybe he's not.
That's crazy.
Both of her brothers are like, come on then.
Yeah,
Come on.
come on.
Do it.
The problem is that they're poking a sleeping bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people can say that before she's like, fine, I will.
He needs to know the truth. The truth about what?
About himself. No one knows. No one but me.
Stop speaking riddles. But
Jon isn't really my father's son. He's the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and my aunt, Lyanna Stark.
Oh my God!
His last name isn't really Snow. It's Sand.
At the Citadel, I transcribed a High Septon's diary. He annulled Rhaegar's marriage to Alia. He wed Rhaegar and Lyanna in a secret ceremony.
From this day until the end of my days.
Looks
Robert's
like
rebellion was built on a lie.
Rhaegar wasn't really raping Lyanna at all.
Rhaegar didn't kidnap my aunt or rape her.
But they can never. Oh my God!
He loved her.
All right, hold on. No, wait. You can't do what you're about to do now. Like this is. Wait, no. I can't ship it anymore. Can I? Like that's.
Yes, technically he is her nephew.
Oh, he's her. Oh yeah, no, you got. Oh no. It's not a step aunt situation, Jon. It's an aunt, bro. You need to. Tyrion's like, what's going on in there, dude?
He definitely looks concerned.
Jon's real name.
His name is Aegon Targaryen.
He's never been a bastard. He's the heir to the Iron Throne.
Oh!
Oh, isn't that fucking sweet?
It just made it feel so much better when I said I wanted Jon to be on the Iron Throne a couple reactions ago, and
no, you said it in the live Q&A.
Oh, it did. It was the Q&A, yeah. Oh my God.
The show's not over yet, but this is huge, and we will talk about this.
Yeah, oh my God.
Trust me, we will talk about that.
You're the Lady of Winterfell. I never could have survived what you survived.
You would have.
No.
You're the strongest person I know.
I believe that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Wow.
I'm still thinking about.
we'll get into that. Don't worry.
It's one ear and out the other right now.
That had the nation ripping and roaring. Oh, don't worry. We'll get into it.
Father. And the snows fall and the white winds blow. The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Damn. That's a shout out to the Starks right there.
I miss him.
Me too.
Yeah, I miss him too. Hey, buddy. Tormund, no one got to tell you, but they have one other thing that's with them. We didn't plan for it. Just so you know. Yeah, I know you thought it was all infantry, but aerial units have been brought in. At least one of them. It's blue fire!
Yep.
And there he is. That's
Right
definitely
on.
the Night King on that motherfucker. Oh my God.
I would be terrified.
You're honestly... Oh, it's like ice. Is it?
No,
I
it's
can't tell if it's blue. Is it
it's
fire?
blue
Is it
fire.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's breaking the wall. Because they said Dragonfire has like magic to it. Well,
honestly, you are better off like fleeing and getting them to know, like, yo, you get a raven. He's on a dragon, so it looks like he can't fly past it, unless he's just choosing to shoot it down. Get
no,
the wall
he
down
can't.
so
No, he can't fly past it.
He can't fly past it. Okay,
but he's tearing it down. I mean, he might have been able to fly past it, but that doesn't really do him any good.
For me, yeah, I was gonna say it serves him better to tear it down and let the rest of the army come through.
Yep. Magic isn't strong enough to resist dragon fire, especially this kind of dragon fire. Sheesh. Winter is here. They're past it.
Viserion does look sick, though. I'm not gonna lie. You know he's on the other side. The blue flames, the holes in the wings looks kind of fucking tight.
And we had to wait a while to get to next season. Okay. That was Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7, the finale, The Dragon and the Wolf. If you guys liked what you were watching, leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. It would really mean the world. If you want to watch our full-length reaction to this in the final 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Zay, before we get into your initial thoughts, I have been waiting 7 seasons to say this. Now, I must tell you, it's pretty obvious. It was already said, but let me have my fucking moment, okay? No. Jon is no bastard. He never has been. He isn't, and he never will be. We've talked about Rhaegar and Lyanna this whole freaking time, and it was all just background information. What is this all about? Oh, now we know. Jon is their son, and like I said, they had a marriage. So he is not an illegitimate son. He's a legitimate son, making him not just a Stark, not just a Targaryen, a Stark and a Targaryen, a dragon and a wolf. And to top it all off, he's not just a dragon and a wolf. He is the son, the legitimate son of Rhaegar Targaryen, the grandson of the Mad King, the last living male Targaryen, according to Daenerys' own logic. Jon is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. He has, does, and always will have the highest claim for that chair. That chair has been his this whole fucking time, according to Dany's own logic. He has the highest rightful claim to the Iron Throne, and he always has had that claim. Just nobody knew. That's right. That is huge. And his name, his fucking name, named after the initial conqueror of Westeros with 3 dragons. Yes, Jon Snow's real name is Aegon Targaryen. That was fucking crazy. With that being said, Zay, what are your initial thoughts?
Dude, that was insanity. I don't even know what else to say. That was like the only thing that even like brought me back into like really like watching the episode was, you know, the Night King taking down the wall, because I was so stuck on that Sansa and Arya's conversation. I think they missed Ned, is what they were getting at. Other than that, I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my God. And it's crazy because it's so well written that it's like you get these bits and these crumbs of information, but you would never really like put it together.
It's been there the whole time. Even back to, remember when I told you Sir Barristan was talking about how kind Rhaegar was? Yeah. And I asked you, I said, do you think he's just trying to make Dany feel better because she knows how bad her father is? There's been so many seeds for this up until the moment where Drogon is being nice to Jon. You think that was for no reason?
I know that there's people somewhere like, nah, I knew that, bro. I predicted that from now.
The book readers, I think, knew.
I'm talking about general consumers. Most of you did not see that coming.
There was a lot of theorizing on YouTube, but it was never confirmed. Once the hard cut occurred in season 6 with the baby to Jon, a lot more people were on that ship. But I think not until this episode was it.
It wasn't that I didn't think that baby wasn't Jon. I guess I just didn't connect the dots into like what his lineage would be, like where his descendancy would be. So
yeah,
it was like I was like, it seemed like I'm like that cut is like seems so obvious, but I'm like I'm not thinking of the repercussions of it. But holy shit.
There was a line in the previous episode, or I think it was the previous episode, the episode before that, and I didn't want to bring it up again, but it was when Gilly was reading the book, and she said, oh, it looks like Prince Rhaegar had an annulment with Ilaria or whatever. Or
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that line.
But it's when you combine it with the knowledge that we saw Lyanna in the tower, we know Lyanna. We talked about it a little bit after that episode where I said, whoa, Zay, you're making some wild accusations here. I'm like, if you're saying that baby is Jon, then you could potentially be saying Rhaegar is the father. But we talked about other options, like maybe there was another father. And even if he was the father, Jon would still be a bastard, except for they had a secret marriage. So Jon is a legitimate heir.
If you really
were Mad King,
if you were really piecing it together, as soon as you heard Sam say, in the book that there was a secret marriage, I'm sure there was actually, there's probably
I think all they covered was that there was an annulment, and I think they might have said that there was a secret marriage.
I thought he said, I thought Sam mentioned there was a secret marriage between Lyanna.
I know there was an annulment. I know that much, and I think there was a secret marriage. I think they said that too. Regardless, Bran confirmed it with his visions.
An insane fucking, what a woo, like loop around. Holy shit,
dude. What does this mean for Dany? I mean, her whole entire case is that I'm the last living Targaryen. I'm the last living child descendant of the Mad King, child of the Mad King, because she was the Mad King's daughter. This completely dismantles everything for her. Because according to her logic, it belongs to Jon, not her. Because Jon is the last living male heir. So what are the implications of that? How does that affect things? Yes, he is her nephew, technically speaking, because Rhaegar was her brother. So that is incest. A lot of things happening here.
Yeah. Oh, are we hopping into the Q&A? Is that what you want to do?
Sure. Yeah. Let's hop into the Q&A. Let's kind of start with the lesser stuff. Let's start with Cersei. So we had this awesome meeting. We got to see a bunch of different characters interact. We got to see them all come together. This is probably so far, it tops whatever season I said was my favorite finale. This one tops that. This one is so far my favorite finale of Game of Thrones. But I won't talk about season 8 because that is the last season. We'll have to see what happens there. But in this episode, we had Cersei and everybody come together, and basically they came to agreement, or so we thought, where Cersei basically decided, actually, no, that's not what's happening. We have the Golden Company. I just lied. Something that Jon wasn't going to do. Or should I say Aegon? Something that Aegon wasn't going to do. And we saw Jaime just fucking, he's had enough. He's hightailed it. He's left King's Landing, and we saw winter fall upon King's Landing. So what are your thoughts about Cersei in this entire situation? Will she change? Will it be a last second decision? Or do you think she's still going to keep, let the monsters fight it out, as she says? What are your thoughts about that whole situation and how that might play out? And, where exactly do you think Jaime's headed? What are your thoughts about that whole situation?
Yeah, I wonder if Jaime's headed to, try to link with Dany and Jon and, them. Because, with the way Cersei's kind of leading now, I guess, it's not like a direct comparison, I guess, but it's giving Jaime's seen a ruler that's been just insane before, not willing to, sacrifice, and just is so hell-bent on ruling, willing to basically let everything burn to the ground before they lose their power. The Mad King, which she killed. So Cersei is definitely giving me those
grandpapa.
Yeah. Grandpapa. So Cersei's definitely kind of giving me those vibes where it's she would actually rather see the world and everything burn under her rather than sacrifice and be yo, let's fight this common enemy. And
all she cared about was her family. She's I don't care.
Right. And I don't blame Jaime necessarily for being fuck this, I'm out. Because
we've seen several instances where he just keeps saying, we can't, they've got dragons, and now he sees these White Walkers.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Mad King didn't really the Mad King ruled. I'm sure he had a council, he had a hand of the king, but What did that matter? I'm
Right.
at the end of the day, it was I'm king, I'm queen in her instance, I'm the ruler. So what I say goes. And he poked the sleeping bear. For a second, I thought the mountain was gonna actually kill him. I was like, holy shit, is this actually how we see the end of Jamie? And you know, we're starting to see almost like a unison, well, not necessarily unison right now, but you could start to see the formulation of, you know, people starting to come together against her. Like even her closest, which is Jamie, he's like, I'm all you have. The only other person that you have is Qyburn, and then this brainless monster with a blue face that is following you. Not brainless,
like people
but
close to her. Yeah, I mean, obviously she has her soldiers in the Golden Company, but
I'm
close
saying
to
like,
her.
yeah, you don't have like you know, you're all about your family. Okay, well, you've pushed out what's left of your family.
Mm-hmm.
You're arguing that it is for this, you know, what's inside of you, which will be family, but you're making these, you know, you're not doing what you should be to maintain the longevity of it, man. You know, I get her standpoint where,
I
you
mean,
know, she's skeptical.
He's also a little bit betrayed. How she like, you know, he's like the head of her army, and she's not even going to tell him about the Golden Company. Like these are things he should know.
No, 100%. And she tried to make the point like, well, you can spot. You met with Tyrion underneath. It's like, yeah, but I get it. You know, I guess it's like the pot calling the kettle black, but you know, his reasoning has a little more weight than her. Like, you know, the benefits of his meeting with Tyrion is like the knowledge that this imminent threat is coming. They proved the threat was coming, and then your idea is, nah,
and to be fair,
we got him fooled.
He didn't know he was meeting Tyrion, and when he came to Cersei, he told her right after.
Immediately.
So,
yeah, Jorah was, or not Jorah, I'm sorry, Bronn was the one that arranged it.
Right.
And you know, she's like, are you going to punish him? It's like, okay, well, he just gave us information that is like invaluable. And, you know, the other thing too is like, you did buy the Golden Company. Now, here's the thing. Here's my only thing is like, yes, you did buy these sellswords, these mercenaries, whatever you want to call them. Bro, I've heard so many times throughout this series, people mentioning that, you know, sellswords, they'll fight when it comes to money, but if they're on the losing side or they think that they're going to die, they're like, I'm out. Peace. They'd rather survive and fight to get more gold. They could say they could rob your ships and go right back to Essos. Like, fuck this. I ain't gonna like what you never know. Like what sellswords are so risky because they're motivated by the money. But if it's like, I'm gonna die fighting this battle, or I think I'm gonna lose this battle, if they see dragons, they might just be like, yeah, I'm not fighting this. No way.
Yes or no, Sansa sends her army and her sellswords to help out with the White Walkers. Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, listen, she played me. I for sure thought that she was really about to like crucify Arya. I was like, holy shit. And that was a really dope.
Did I say Sansa?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Cersei. Why the fuck did I say
Cersei?
Sansa?
No, I don't think that she's gonna send.
Yes or no? Do you think she's going to help out with the White Walkers at the end of the day? I'm sorry if I said Sansa. I meant Cersei.
Yeah, you did say Sansa. I don't think so. Maybe last second
percentage.
I don't think so.
What percentage?
Ooh, I'd say like 70% no, 30%.
So 30% chance you think she'll do it.
I think that because I'm not gonna say like completely like no way. I think that there is a decent chance that she might. I just think that she's just so in her like head and domain. She's like, no, this is it. I have it. I have these sellswords. I have this. I'm the queen. I rule the 7 kingdoms. They bow to me. And it's like, yo, you had the chance to make peace, to help fight this war. I get it. She's like, oh, well, how can we trust him? Whatever. And then at the end, you could have still handled your business. And she made a great point. She said, you know, Dany came with all of her Unsullied, all of her Dothraki, and 2 dragons. You're telling me you think 1 dragon she left guarding a fleet or something? No, she came to show her power, which means that they're vulnerable. But dog, your weapon worked like relatively well, you know, but it didn't kill it in one shot. That's not stopping it from burning.
To be fair,
it did hit the shoulder. Yeah, that's a great point. But I mean, I don't know, man. Dothraki, Jamie said it himself. He was the one that he fought Dothraki. He fought he's seen the combination in action, so he knows. Now imagine that with Unsullied, who are super trained, disciplined soldiers.
Now her mindset is there's not going to be nearly any left if if they win. Obviously, if they lose, what the fuck are you going to do?
But she's missing the thought that, okay, let's say that's the case, right?
There also could be a clean sweep as well, and now Cersei's fucked again. But
that's what I was gonna say. Oh, even Jamie laid out, he's like, we have two enemies where if you betray the one, they're coming for your head, and if the other one wins, well, the repercussions
they're coming for your head still.
They're coming for your head, but now they have all of your enemies. By the way, they have the whole north, so now they have 3 dragons. They have they have this, they have that, they have all of these units. Now it's not just the north you're worried about. In my eyes, she must be gambling on the north somehow defeating the White Walkers, the Whites, etc.
Maybe.
But
maybe not. Maybe she changes her mind. We've seen people show up at the last second, but
yeah.
You'll never know unless we watch. Next on the list, we've got Theon and Jon. What a great conversation between the two. Theon kind of, asking Jon for forgiveness in a way, and Jon, forgiving him for all that he can forgive him for. And Theon basically kind of finding this himself again in a way when Jon basically said, you are... Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if Theon was necessarily asking for forgiveness, but Theon was.
He's trying to
apologize
with everything he's done, and he's like, you've always seen the right way in things, and Jon's even like, dude, I'm not perfect. He's like,
right,
but and Theon kind of got to vocalize. I mean, you could argue that Yara wasn't the easiest to vocalize with, right? Like he talks to her, and she's kind of like don't be a bitch.
Right.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and so he was able to talk to Jon, and kind of ironic how Jon said, you are both a Stark and a Greyjoy.
Yeah.
When we later learn that Jon is just Stark and something else as well.
Yeah.
But that kind of helped Theon, kind of piece things together, because I feel like his struggle throughout this show has been very rooted in who's my family, the people who took me and raised me well, or the people that they took me from. And that was kind of like what set him off on this whole journey he's been on. It's like, I want to serve my original family, but I have to betray the one that took me and raised me well, but by doing so, it got me really fucked. And so then I helped them again with Sansa. It's like he's been starting like, who do I belong to? Who am I? And then he's also with Yara. Like, I'm a Greyjoy. It's like, am I a Greyjoy? Am I a Stark? Am I a Greyjoy? And Jon is like, relax. You're both, as far as I'm concerned. And that got him hyped up. And now he's on his way to rescue Yara. What are your thoughts about that situation? Do you think it's going to go well, successful, or do you think it's not going to go well or not be successful? What are your thoughts about that situation and how it might play out?
Yeah, I think, man, listen, they did a great job with this, creating this super identity crisis with him, where it's like, yeah, like you said, like, am I a Greyjoy? Am I a Stark? I mean, even at one point, am I Theon? Am I Reek? And we saw him go from Theon to Reek to Theon to Euron having his sister, and he turning into almost like Reek and fleeing. And so it's like this identity crisis that they created with Theon was amazing. And he's on a mission. Yeah, like you say, he's on a mission to go rescue Yara. I have high hopes that it'll be successful. I mean, we didn't really get too much into what the plan is. We got to see him assert kind of his dominance and really show hey, man, that dude was calling him out saying, you're a coward. Run. Why don't you? Even took a cheap shot, knocked him, says, lay on the ground, just give up. I will kill you if you keep getting up. And we showed what a lot of people and what I would take as Theon to get up and be like, no, I'm not going out like that. I think that
you could also argue his torture has trained him.
Oh, yeah. I think it helped him at least for taking those. Yeah. And, I think Jon's conversation with him really, it just, like I said, he had the conversations with his sister, and she's like, you're a Greyjoy, you're a Greyjoy, whatever. But they never got to get that like deeper into like the deeper like, you know, trauma and like the struggles that he's been going through. Whereas with Jon, he kind of got to lament those struggles of like, you know, I've done terrible things. Yeah, I did. I betrayed the Starks, but it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know who am I? And Jon, like you said, Jon said, calm down. You're both. And it's like, you know, like, yeah, you know what, my father died. Like, you didn't lose parts of my father, you know. And even my father was more a father than to yours, but you're still a Greyjoy, but you're still a Stark. So just relax. Like it's not that. It's like you know, it's deep, but it's like you got it. Like you don't have to, you know, you don't have to choose a side. And it was really nice to see. I'll say that it was really like a sweet moment to see.
It was also
and,
interesting because, you know, Jon was like, you know, I'll forgive you for all that I can. It's interesting. It's like, yes, he, you know, in a way with multiple other things, but, you know, one of those aspects is like, yeah, I'll forgive you, you know, for, you know, for betraying our family, but you still burned 2 kids. Like you know, it's two Winterfell kids nonetheless. So it's like, you know, I can forgive you for all I can, but you know, I've done things that I regret, and Theon's like way more than I've done way more than you. And Jon's like, you're fucking right, you have.
Yeah. He's like, but I can't, but that doesn't, just because you're coming to me, I can't forgive you for all your actions that you've done. They weren't necessarily committed against me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
They were committed against others. So, you know, I'll forgive you for what I can do. And you just like, you know, the rest, you're going to have to try to find peace or something along those lines.
Right.
So, and I think that was his first step is, you know, I need to save my sister, right? Because he betrayed his sister. Like you know, he really did at the end of the day. She was held at axe point and
you think he'll
he
be
had
successful?
an option. I hope that they're successful. I don't know if he'll survive it, but at the very least, I hope he goes out fighting and like, you know, maybe even achieves her to be able to escape, kind of, even if it costs him his life. I don't know. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he is successful. I mean, Euron can fight. Theon can fight. Theon's not a bad fighter, but we haven't really gotten to see Theon like, even though we've seen Theon fight, like when he was on the ships and stuff, it didn't feel like it's still like there's parts of it was like it's not Theon. Like I want to see Theon, like Theon Stark, if I guess would be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like Theon, what we saw in the beginning where he's got like this like bravado, he's got this confidence. It's like even when we saw him fighting before, it's like you still kind of feel this like, yeah, no, yeah, you're right, I'm Theon. Yeah, you're right, I'm Theon Greyjoy. And it's like, all right, but it doesn't feel like it the way you're acting. So
yeah,
I mean,
we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out. Next on the list, sneaky Baelish. This whole entire show, he has triggered event after event after event. He's been whispering in people's ear, like Sansa said. He's been turning families against families, sisters against sisters.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a huge line because he has. And he, you know, Catelyn and Lysa, you know, the Lannisters and the Starks, all this stuff he's been, you know, driving behind the scenes. But unfortunately, he let his guard down with Sansa throughout all this time. And he, you know, kind of showed his cards, was trying to mentor her, but thought he could manipulate her. And unfortunately for him, whatever it was, my opinion, it's the experience she's gone through that she was able to kind of overcome this situation and understand, wait a second. But yeah, so she's been through some shit, and, you know, Baelish couldn't get a grasp on her anymore, but she let him think that he did still have a grasp.
Yeah.
And even Arya did for a little bit here at this trial. But turns out that when Sansa was going to tell Arya that she needs to answer for her crimes, she looks over at Baelish and says, you, Baelish, you need to answer for your crimes. We saw this weasel try every little fucking tactic he had in the book.
Every tactic.
And Sansa spit back at him the line that he spit at her. You know, I like to play a game where I assume what's the worst reason, basically, that somebody would be doing this. And she exposed him for betraying Ned and whatnot. Bran backed it up. Was fucking crazy-ass Bran in the back, Professor X style, like you said. And Arya slit his throat. It was a unique, or a really special moment because, you know, Peter betrayed Ned, but we got to see a contribution from each of the Stark children at Winterfell in terms of ending Baelish's life and finishing it off. So what are your thoughts about that entire situation? Baelish's story has come to an end. If you don't know, he is dead, but it's pretty obvious. I'm sure you put that together. What are your thoughts about that whole situation? And are you satisfied with his character arc? And what are your thoughts about the relationship with the Starks moving forward? It does seem like Sansa and Arya are a little bit more back together now. And what do you think their role is to play in the upcoming, wars to come, you could say, or future of the show?
Yeah, I think it was I think a satisfying end to a story arc, right? The devious and the sneaky and betrayer gets betrayed. In his in his eyes at least, he got betrayed. He's like, well,
no, he did, yeah, for sure.
He's pleading with Sansa and everything. And I thought it, like you said, was really unique, right? And they each kind of have a role to play. And it's interesting that, their experiences kind of play into each role that they seem to play. Because the way I imagined it,
I absolutely agree.
What we get to see is Sansa has had to play that coy role, like when she was in King's Landing, when she had to play this obedient coy role. Like I'm just yes, no, yes, yes, no. Oh, this goes, this doesn't go.
Joffrey is my king. She kept saying that.
And then we get Arya. Arya being the deceitful, the smart, she's able to outwit. Probably one of the, after reading that letter, was probably the one to start to conjure up the idea originally. I'm sure Sansa had her doubts about him, but I'm sure Arya also was kind of like, hey, we need to discuss.
Imagine how five-head that would be. We don't know for sure, how much Arya was thinking about if Baelish is behind this, at the point of reading the letter. I mean, she knew that he had the letter, but how five-head would it be if she was sneaking on Baelish, who was sneaking on her, but when she read the letter, she realized what Baelish was up to at the time that we thought Baelish was in the lead. Like, what the fucking, what the heck is happening here?
And then you have Bran, who, obviously has the ability to, access literally present, past, and future. But, Sansa even said, like, when Baelish gave him the knife, she was like, he doesn't do anything without expecting return. So I also wonder, did that kind of make him even get his wheels turning or get their wheels turning, like understanding like there's something going on. I mean, Sansa's had her doubts about him, right? We've seen that. So it was just cool to see them all be able to play a role into kind of getting this guy the fuck out of here. Like this toxin, like, he's not, like, he's smart, but now you have these three children that are, together they were able to combine and figure out, like, hey, he does, like, of course he doesn't want the best, but what is his plot? And trying to separate them, and he just wasn't successful in the end. It was really, really satisfying, really, really dope.
When it comes to Bran and seeing the future, I'm pretty sure the future is way more vague.
Yeah,
it's to the present and the past.
I'm just saying, like, he just has the ability. So I would imagine they were kind of like
the future. I think is more metaphorical and vague because, like we said, we saw him seeing waves crashing over Winterfell. That was a future thing, but that was the Greyjoys taking over. But the past and the present, apparently, he can see, like,
vivid
on the dime, like
what happened. So it was really, really really cool to see that. And that's a deadly trio to have, man. Having in the future things to come, you could literally, that's like a golden play. Have Sansa play coy while Arya's snooping around to figure out what's going on, and then Bran's able to find out, like, all their past sins because he's just like, I know everything. Like, I'm curious to see how they utilize their abilities to work together in the future. And it was really nice to see that even though they kind of felt all separated from all their past experiences and it seemed like there was a tear, they were able to come together, unite, and almost mend. I can't speak for Bran because I can't tell what he's feeling at any point, but Sansa and Arya, they were able to kind of like mend the relationship a little bit, it seemed, and even talk about, their father when they were near the end there, like saying, I miss him. And it was just like, it was super heartwarming And it's just really, really cool to see them be able to unite and just bring it all back.
Yeah. Well, let's still talk about Bran because we have been talking about Bran. Bran and Sam had a little bit of reunion, and we got to see the power of books and the power of sight, I guess you could say, or the three-eyed raven. Because sure, Bran could see everything, but he never thought to check out the marriage between Rhaegar and Lyanna because he never thought that was a thing because he was married to, but there was knowledge in the books because it happened in secret. So it's like, sure, Bran can see everything. Doesn't mean he has seen everything, because some things are either in the books or are not known. But thankfully, with the knowledge of Sam and the knowledge of Bran, it was finally pieced together that Jon is Aegon Targaryen. I've already explained what that means, so we don't need to get into that again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get into that again. You could talk about it all you want. What are your thoughts about the big reveal, you could say, about Jon and how that will affect the future of our story, how that affects his relationship with Dany, if it even does? Do you think he'll ever find out, or do you think he won't ever find out? This is huge, but the only people that know about it are Bran and Sam. Bran wants to tell Jon, but we don't know if he ever will. What are your thoughts about that situation? Do you think those two will be the only two that ever knows? Do you think other people will find out? One of those people, would it be Jon? Would it be Dany and not Jon? Would it be Tyrion? Like, there's so many different options here. What are your thoughts about the whole situation? Not only who will find out or who will not find out, but also how it's going to affect the rest of the story.
Yeah, it was really cool to see like kind of two forms of knowledge kind of get blended together, right? Book knowledge versus just like, I guess, stories told and like experience knowledge, where it's like they kind of met in the middle. Like, wait, like there's a missing chunk here. Like this means something, right? So, it was very dope to see. Do I think Jon will find out?
And it's crazy that Ned knew the whole time. Ned knew who Jon was the whole time.
Yeah. Listen, if Bran, here's why I think Jon will find out, because Bran knows. Bran's like a fucking, no disrespect to him. He's just like a robot. He has to find out. Like, and I just feel like you couldn't convince him otherwise. He's just like, he has to know. It's like, okay.
Maybe.
But that causes a lot of implications. Like, is Jon comfortable with banging his aunt? I don't personally, I'm not quite sure. I can't speak for him, but that would certainly cause an issue. We saw them have sex, and he called into question the fact that, oh, you can't have kids. Who told you that? Oh, a witch that killed your husband. She could, for all we know, we could find out she's pregnant towards the latter half of the season or towards the end, or like, I mean,
something. We have seen her and Dario have sex before, and nothing's come of it. So it's
wasn't
possible. Well, it's possible.
Okay, I'm fucking with you.
It's possible that it doesn't ever work out, but it could still be possible that it does work out. We just don't know.
It's an implication that could be there. So
sure.
And that throws a wrench in the whole thing. I just. Man, it's sad because I've been shipping Jon and Dany, and I feel like a lot of people kind of were at that point. They're like, yo, like this relationship is going to be crazy. And then to find out that they're actually aunt and nephew is like.
To be fair, the Targaryens did a lot of.
I know.
I mean, that's why some of them are fucking insane.
To be fair, I just don't know if Jon's feeling that. So I don't, there's a lot of implications that could go down. How does the relationship between them get affected too? Like you said, her master plan was she's heir to the throne. She's the last Targaryen. Does she question it? Does she argue it? Does she try to does it cause a split between these two? Jon also at the same time, Jon was pronounced king of the wall or king of the north, and he told them straight up, I didn't want to be king. I didn't ask for this. Does he even want to be king? Even if he is the rightful heir, does he just say, I don't want it? And he gives it to Dany. That's a total.
What happens if it gets out to everybody? Do you think that would at that point, what would first of all, it may or may not get out to everybody.
People couldn't question now that calls into question people judging the rumors of Cersei and Jaime. You're like, you know, there. I mean, that was incest inside the inside the Capitol, inside the Capitol, and
well, I mean, like, here's the thing: say it gets out to everybody. Does everybody not support him because, you know, the people in the North find out that he's part Targaryen, and the people supporting Dany are already supporting Dany? Or does everybody want him to be king because he is the one who has the rightful heir? And how does that affect everything else? It's like, you know, well, we can't get into other movies that we've watched, but we've learned the strength of the power of the people. And it's like, who cares what Dany thinks if everybody thinks it belongs to Jon? So but of course, like I said, people might turn against Jon because of this fact, because, oh, well, then you're not as much of a Stark as I thought you. You know, like, there could be a varying amount of degrees. So what are your thoughts about how that might play out? Do you think everybody will find out or everybody won't find out?
I think it would be very hard for people to not find out. I think that it will. I think there's a high possibility of it getting found out. You know, we still have, you know, listen, man, like,
but by everybody, that's like, some people
like,
might
you're saying,
know,
like,
but some people might not know.
Oh, you're saying like most population, like, kind of find out.
Like the people of King's Landing and the people of this place and the people of that place. Like, would it become a common knowledge fact if it even gets out? Look, I'm not even saying it's going to get past Bran and Sam, because it very well might not. But I'm just picking your mind at what you think the implications are in all these different scenarios.
Wouldn't it be poetry if Jon, you know, Tyrion said, you got to learn to lie. Wouldn't it be poetry if Jon lied and denied all accusations? That would be poetry for him at that point where people are like, there's rumors that you're, or like someone said you're, and he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking. Like, that would be poetry. I mean, if people find out, I imagine it would be a tough split. I think there would be people that don't support him, but I think there'd be a chunk of people that are like, I think it would be like people that don't support him, people that do support him because he's technically the rightful heir. And then, yeah, I think it would get tough. I just feel like at that point, if people found out, the only way for Dany to really get the throne is if Jon kind of like denied it and like didn't take the throne. Because I think people would really want him to take it at that point. They'd be like, well, technically you need to take the throne. You should be taking it because you're the heir to the throne. So, like, dude, that reveal, I'm not gonna sleep. That's insane.
It's crazy. But again, look, it could go in many directions. I want to make it very clear to you that it might stay with Bran and Sam. It might never get out, it might get out to everybody. It might get out to a select few people. It might not get out to anybody. Many different options there, and the ramifications and the things that can occur now that we know this, there's endless possibilities. So, well, there's only one way to find that out, and that's to that's to move on, right? But before we do move on, there's one last thing to talk about. They've breached the wall. The wall is down. The White Walkers are now south of the wall in Westeros. They've got their army, the giants. They've got the dragons. It is a problem. What are your thoughts about the future of this show now that winter was here, but winter is now here? So what are your thoughts about that situation? What do you think the outcome is going to be of that situation? And, going forward, how do you think that's going to affect everything?
I think we'll end up having a battle. I think it'll end up at King's Landing, I guess. I just don't see, the news of them breaching the wall needs to get out and needs to get into the hands of every lord and all those, like, immediately. And, they are just at such a severe disadvantage now, because at least when you had the wall, right, you could, like, you have a barrier, so you can, like, fire down fire arrows and you can do all these extra things. Like, you have a buffer. Now it's like wherever you fight, you're meeting in open combat. And
obviously there are castles south of the wall, but
Yeah,
These
those
things can
castles.
swarm.
Yeah, but you had, and the one magical barrier got destroyed by the undead dragons. So you telling me those castle walls are gonna hold? If that magical barrier couldn't hold, then y'all better say.
Fair point.
Honestly, it's a super dire situation, and she better take that golden company and tell them to march fucking north, because there's no we at this point, south of the wall cannot afford to be dismantled, have bickering, to have, inner conflicts and people being like, we'll just wait it out. We'll just wait out this battle because it's too late. And I think that, that might affect Cersei's decision, honestly, to call back to her is now they're south of the wall. I think her thought process also was, well, the battle will be at the wall, so we'll find out and we'll have time. No, no, they're here. They're on their way. That changes the dynamic completely, because now you don't have that wall, and
sure.
I mean, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, honestly.
Remember, this is Game of Thrones. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, man.
We've seen several unhappy endings. We've seen several happy endings. So
there's always a part of my brain that's like, man, this might be it. This could end with just a night, just a White Walker takeover, which would be insane. That would be nuts. Or we could see some sort of crazy victory. I mean, I'm excited to see what the outcome is. I'm excited to see, does Cersei change her mind and decide that it's way too dire now that they're south of the wall? I'm sure Jon and Dany and them are going to be mobilizing and getting the fuck on their way once they find out that they're south of the wall, and maybe even pleading with Cersei, you need to understand, now's the time. There's now we need to mobilize, even if maybe she, like I said, maybe she changes her mind. Does Jaime go to Dany and Jon and kind of meet with them and say yo, she's not trying to, she ain't trying to help y'all. She's trying to let it wait it out. I mean,
yeah,
I guess there's only one way to find out.
Yep. I like the way you put it. It could either end with a White Walker takeover or a great victory, but there's only one way to find out, and that is to move on. But for now, we are done. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. If you guys like what you're watching, leave a like down below. Of course, if you enjoy what you're watching. If you don't enjoy what you're watching, I appreciate you watching all the way to this point. But hey, listen, again, we appreciate you guys for being here. If you want to watch a full-length reaction to this, the next 6 episodes, the final 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
Yes, I do. Come tune to my Twitch. I stream Sunday through Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays are with Cam and possibly some of our friends. Also, I actually forgot to mention the last couple of times. Also have a YouTube channel up as well. I'm playing right now. I'm kind of working through horror games, so yeah, it's not fun, but I am playing them. They're fun to play. Come tune in. Come say hi. If you hop in the Twitch chat, feel free to, drop some suggestions, say hi to Cam and I, ask us questions. Listen, it's free time to be active with us while we're literally it's as close as into flesh as you can get right now. So, feel free to comment and hang out and just, stay for a little bit. And if you really care about us, then you'll follow me. But I get it if you don't. But then it just means you're fake and you support the Night King. So, with that being said, Cam, I know you also have a Twitch.
Yep, Just Your Average Cam. The link's in the description. You guys can check that out if you want. With that being said, we appreciate you guys being here. Nonetheless, thank you for the support, whether you're a Patreon, a subscriber, a donator, or all three. It means so much to have you guys here. We'll see you guys on the next one, the premiere of Game of Thrones, the final season.
Oh, it's so
or whatever
sad.
next video we post that you guys are interested in. With that being said, we'll see you on the next one regardless. Peace.
See you.